think he stopped. A warm welcome to Deepdale for this final first round tie in the Lagsmites Cup between Preston North End and Burnley. In theory, Preston are the only side out of these two who can make it into the final, which should be against either Wigan or Bolton a week of Tuesday. Burnley, they line up with Chris Pearce in goal, 2 Ian Measham, 3 Joe Jacob, 4 John Deary, 5 and captain John Pender. He scored 2 own goals this season already, so he won't be looking for a hat-trick today. 6 Mark Monington, 7 Andy Farrell, 8 Jason Hardy, 9 John Francis, 10 Mike Conroy, he's the fast man up front, watch out for him, and 11 Steve Harper, a former Preston player, given a free transfer at the end of last season. Preston North End, they line up with 1 Simon Farnworth, 2 the former Wigan player Steve Senior, 3 Gary Swan, 4 Ian Bogie, 5 Mike Flynn, 6 Jeff Wrightson, 7 another former Wigan player David Thompson, 8 and captain Warren Joyce, 9 Ronnie Jepson, a big forward from Port Vale, 10 Graham Shaw and 11 Martin James. The substitutes for today's game are in goal for Preston, Alan Kelly, 12 Neil Williams, 14 Nigel Greenwood, 15 Matt Lambert and 16 Lee Ashcroft. Burnley substitutes a goalkeeper David Williams, 12 Graham Lancashire, who played his first game on Tuesday, and 14 Peter Mumby. A sprinkling of fans here for this last game in the group today here at Deepdale. Preston need only a draw here after a good win against Bury 6-1 and a draw at Blackburn. As we get ready for Burnley to kick off, there's a wind about and a bit of rain, but none really taking any direction as Joe Francis starts proceedings. A crowd of around 2,000, not much more, not much less. There's a few hundred Burnley fans have made the trip, rather in hope, really, than any kind of idea. As Burnley pick up possession with Harper. Harper turns round and is immediately dispossessed by Joyce, to the delight of the Preston fans then, as Gary Swan brings the ball down the line. It's a good pass as well for Jepson. Ronnie Jepson lays it back. Again, Swan gives it to James. James cuts round his man. He's got room for the cross and he gets it in. Out comes Chris Pearce though. Good take from the Burnley keeper. A nice. There's the foul then. There's a bit of argy-bargy upfield. The free kick's quickly taken, but Joe Francis will have to knock the ball back. Steve Harper then is being greeted with quite a few views every time he reaches the ball. Hopefully we'll get a few goals in this game. Burnley will want to score some, just to really buck their season up after a dismal few performances in this cup competition, as Francis's header just drifts out of play. Farnworth with the kick. There's a bit of push in there. The referee says play on. Back it comes again for Burnley. Flynn tries to pick it up. Finally it comes for Joyce. Joyce plays a 1-2 with Senior. Gives it in back. Good play from Preston. And the ball spread wide looking for Thompson, but it can't find him. And Burnley will get the goal kick. David Thompson, who's not having the happiest of times here at Preston at the moment. Hopefully things will buck up for him. He had a great few years at Wigan and at Notts County, and maybe it's just taking a bit of time to adjust to the artificial conditions. As Ian Measham gets ready for the throw-in, he's got Francis making a run. He goes instead for Conroy. Conroy wins the throw-in. Conroy recently signed for Burnley for £35,000. and he's proved his worth so far, and it goes for him again. This time his flick on can't find anybody. James brings the ball away for Preston. Good flick on from Jepson as Bogey plays it forward. Preston's bled play, it comes out for Thompson. Fortunately for Burnley, Joel Jacob was there. Jacob playing at left back today. We started the pre-season friendlies. A normal midfielder up front, Jacob, but he's suited in his defensive role so far as it goes inside the box to James. Senior's there as well, but Burnley managed to scramble it away. Wrightson plays the ball forward for Thompson. Thompson looks for the 1-2 again. There's a bit of a push there, and the free kick's been given. Preston with a free kick, it's quickly taken, but Burnley managed to clear, only at the expense of a corner. Mark Monington, another new signing for Burnley. They're at the back with a clearance out to stop anybody snatching at the far post. As a result, we have the first corner of the game. And it's a good one, looking for Jepson, can't find him. Harper half clears. And Preston pick it back up and then decide the only way is back. Wrightson not keen to take anybody on there. Great header out by Burnley. Monington again with it, but Preston have won the throw-in. Which Swan will take. Swan to Bogey. Bogey looking across field. Not a good pass from him. Jacob plays it forward. It's picked up again by Bogey. Bogey lays it off for Senior. Back it comes again. Preston moving neatly in midfield, but it's all broken down for them, and then they've won it back. Bogey, again the instigator, looking for somebody to make a run for him. Finds it in Thompson. Thompson with Jacob, and Thompson just falls over his own feet. Still at the edge of the area though. Bogey taking it on, a great run there by Swan. It wasn't taken up, and the shot finally comes in and goes way over the bar. Graham Shaw won't be that pleased with that effort. There was a great run though made in between all that. I think it was by Warren Joyce. It wasn't spotted unfortunately by Bogey, but it's Preston who are doing the pressing here early on. Senior with the clearance again. Jepson will chase, but Pender decides to give away the throw-in. Thompson with a long one, looking for Jepson again. He gets the flick on Jepson. Shaw's in there, and finally Chris Pearce just collects. under his own crossbar. Pearce with a kick out, trying to launch a Burnley attack that will be one of the first of the game. It's Conroy battling for it, can't win it, and Preston come away with it with some ease. Bogey looks through the middle for Jepson. Oh, Swan, is it? Swan, and he's won the throw-in. Swan, no, he won't, because Hardy's got back there and cleared. Back in it comes again. Swan inside, gives it to Joyce, and Burnley desperate, last-ditch stuff at the back. Again gives another throw-in away. Thompson again with the throw-in. Jepson, the man he's looking for. This time it was Jacob heading on. The shot comes in. It must be a goal. Oh, he tries a little back heel. Shaw still in the box. Shaw lays it back for Bogey. Bogey on the edge of the area, fends off Farrell and lays a great ball to Senior. Preston really buzzing at the moment as Thompson digs the ball back for Senior. Senior looks to have gone too far, and he has. A good spell of pressure there from Preston. It seemed that they must score as Jepson flicked the ball on and the shot came in from James. Pearce could only parry the ball, and then as the melee continued, Shaw put in a little back heel that just couldn't squeeze in the bottom corner. Pearce with a kick. Preston really using the wind to good effect. Burnley being kept under the cosh here as we approach 10 minutes. And the ball's played through again for Bogey. Bogey, he's got men in the centre if he can find them. He cuts inside. He might fancy a shot. Finds Joyce instead. Joyce can't find anybody. Jepson, great save from Pearce. Burnley's defence at the moment is in disarray, and Preston are really ripping them open. And this corner's quickly taken to Bogey again. He's been at the centre of everything so far. Bogey just holds the ball up for Joyce to get the cross, and it's a good one. There's a man at the far post in James, but Pearce manages to keep hold of the ball and clears it upfield, looking for Francis. Francis with Jet Wrightson, and Preston have won the throw-in. Preston have had 2 or 3 good opportunities here early on. They've certainly played the ball around with good effect and used the wind, especially in this first 10 minutes as Farrell plays the ball to Francis, his first real touch in the match, and he's quickly lost it. And then Preston are back on the attack again with Shaw. Shaw decides he's got room to go on and then tries to take too many players. Still, Hardy's in a bit of trouble here until he's robbed by Shaw, who gives away the goal kick. We get a score flash. Rochdale are beating Blackpool 1-0. Rochdale, who beat Bolton on Monday but then lost against Wigan the following Wednesday, could still theoretically reach the final, but it would be very hard for them to do so. They would have to score, I think it's 3 goals at least, as Wrightson heads the ball out of play for a Burnley throw-in. 10 minutes gone, still 0-0, but Preston could so easily have broke the deadlock with 2 or 3 clear-cut chances, 1 for Shaw and really 2 for Martin James, as that throw goes for Francis again. The ball's gone out of play and Preston have got a goal kick. The final will be either played at Bolton Wanderers or Wigan Athletic, whichever of those 2 teams finishes top, as Shaw gets a push in the back there by Mornington. He's going to have a word with the referee as well. Shaw gets the ball, plays it down the line and through the legs of Measham to James. James skips past one challenge and whips in a good cross as well. He certainly does look lively, Martin James. Whenever he gets the ball on this Preston left side, he's creating problems for Burnley, and Ian Measham at the moment can't handle it. Preston's 4th corner of the game so far. Warren Joyce, the captain, will take it. Joyce, who's got Jepson in there to aim for. There's a bit of arms up by the captain for Burnley, John Pender. The crowd thought it was a free kick, but Harper brings it away. Harper, nice play between him and Francis. Francis with the ball back, lays a good pass forward for Conroy. Conroy, he's got 2 Preston players on him, and in the end gives away the throw-in. There was nothing much more he could do with that. Swan gives the ball away there to Francis, and Francis quickly whips the cross in, but there's nobody there for Burnley. And Farmer tried to play a quick kick away to get a counter-attack going, but instead it's backfired, and it's now Mornington going forward. Mornington swings it in, and Conroy with a header just goes wide. That's got to be best, boys. I'll get it right in a minute. Burnley, it's best chance of the game so far. Conroy with a flashing header there, just outside the 6-yard area. Good cross by Mornington coming forward. Measham heads the ball out of play for another Preston throw-in. Boginart trying to get things going again for Preston. Jepson with a header down inside the area again, but this time Bogi's shot was off target. Good little bit of play there from Preston again though. Great layoff from Jepson as the ball came forward, and Bogi made the run from midfield, just couldn't get the shot on target. Pearce with a kick again, finds Farrell, who can't control it, and then it's just really booted forward by Deary. We've seen very little of John Deary in midfield. He's led his opposite number, Ian Bogie, dominate proceedings in midfield, and Bogie's the man with the ball again. Again he does well, and Swan continues the clearance. Preston with the overlap on the far side. Senior pushing forward. Thompson goes inside. It finds Joyce. Joyce's header down though. Can't find anybody as it skids off the turf into the hands of Chris Pearce. And Pearce launches the attack again for Burnley. Really does need somebody to put the foot on the ball for Burnley, like Ian Bogie's done it for Preston. He's given the Preston forwards chance to make the runs and the fullbacks to push up, whereas Burnley at the moment are just trying to cope with things, and Jason Hardy has moved back into defence, so we've now got 3 central defenders back there for Burnley trying to cope with Jepson and Shaw. Which means that Andy Farrell's moved into midfield alongside John Deary. As Swan comes away with it, not a good pass. Pender picks it up and then lays it back for Hardy. Hardy's ball is way too hard. We could just do with a goal now. Things have just gone a little bit quiet in the last 5 minutes after a really thunderous start from Preston. And I think they'll be a bit disappointed not to have took a lead after doing all the pressing and creating 2 or 3 good chances. As Thompson goes up with Mornington, and Pender again won the challenge. James Not a good pass back, and Francis might get on the end of it. Conroy, or is it Measham? Measham will chase. Measham, he's got Francis screaming for the ball inside. It nearly comes for Francis. Instead, it went over his head, and Conroy tried an acrobatic header that again went off target. There's a fierce rivalry between these two sides in last season's Leyland Daft Cup, which Preston won 6-1. We had a packed house here, and really for a pre-season friendly, it's quite a decent crowd here today as Jepson lays the ball down the line for James. James now after it, and he's won the throw-in as Hardy falls over. James sees some movement finally from Swan, who chips the ball into the box for Jepson. Jepson couldn't find it. Good header again by Mornington as the ball's played in again for Bogie this time, and Bogie's won the corner to the disgust of Joe Jacob and Chris Pearce. It's going to be Preston's fifth, and we've only had 18 minutes gone at the half so far as the corner comes in again. Good header out by Jacob. It's still in the Burnley penalty area. Finally, Hardy tidies things up. And Pearce clears upfield, looking for Francis. Can't get the ball to him. Now he does have a chance to run with it. Francis looks inside, puts a good pass in field. And Flynn rightly had to boot it out. Is there any other scores? How's Latics doing? Is it what? Did not have the report or anything? The injuries have been fixed up. John Deary's fit to continue, and we start with a quick throw-in. Burnley trying to switch play now. Pender hits it forward rather in hope than any cause of getting it anywhere. James, good ball there again. Played forward by Bogie. James gets the cross in, a good header out by Jacob. Again, Farrell's caught on the edge of his area. Bogie. Oh, good play from Bogie. He's battled his way through two players. Unfortunately, he's not won the throw-in. But I think, on reflection of it, he'd sooner give that ball to David Thompson. He had a lot of room on the wing, and because of Bogie's run, had drawn two players away from Thompson. Senior with the throw-in for Preston to Shaw. Back again by Senior, but there's nobody there for Preston. He's disappointedly booted out by Pender. He really put himself under pressure than the ball. Senior to Joyce. Joyce lays the ball back for Flynn, who tries to switch play, but Measham's there and he calmly heads the ball back. Good little bit of play there for me and Measham. Bogie looking to pass it back, decides to go forward, and in the end is shuffled out of it, and he's given away a free kick as well to Burnley. Deary is over this one. So's number 3, Joe Jacob. I've got a feeling it's going to be Jacob to swing this one in, and it is. It looks to be too near Farmouth, and Farmouth easily takes the ball. And that's a good throw as well out to David Thompson. Thompson and Senior done that right hand side again. Senior played the ball through for Thompson, who was immediately squashed by Hardy. Bogey trying to start something again on the edge of the area. He likes playing them 1-2s. This time it's brought down, and Burnley have got a good chance of a counter-attack. Conroy's got a man outside if he can find him, and he does. Measham inside the area. Oh, he's offside. That decision must have been close, because Ian Measham made a great run from the back, and in fact Conroy's ball was maybe a few seconds too late, because he just tried to take the ball in field instead of playing the first time pass to Measham. That would have been the better option, as Bogey goes through again. Lays it off for Jepson. Jepson inside the area for Thompson, but it's too near Chris Pearce, who really has at the moment dealt with anything thrown at him. Senior loses out to Harper and then gets a second chance. Thompson works the ball out to the far side, but I don't think Warren Jersey's going to keep it in. No, he won't. Francis with the ball again, cuts it inside, and that's a dangerous ball to play in your own half. He got away with it though. As Preston bring the ball forward again. Swan to Bogey. Bogey again, Burnley standing off him, and he's running at them, and this is where he can cause trouble. Ian Bogey, and he looked for the free kick, which wasn't given. Conroy, he's got Measham again making a run. This time it was read by Swan. Still though the ball inside the Preston half, and it's 4 for Conroy again. Burnley seem to need to do some practice on the passing, because they're doing some very lax balls on the edge of the area and giving away possession too easily. Harper lays the ball for Hardy. Hardy going forward, hits it up for Francis, who looked for the free kick. I think he felt he got a bit of a push in the back there by Joyce. Play on, says the referee. He ignored that offside flag as Harper plays the ball down the line for Francis. And now that's a dreadful ball when Conroy's in. Conroy must score. No, he's missed. Oh, I've got a feeling Mike Conroy should have scored them. Not quite sure of who the back pass was thrown. It might have been Steve Senior or Mike Flynn. Either way, Mike Conroy was clean through. He beat the keeper and also beat the far post. And that's the best chance of the game so far. And Burnley, who were really under the cosh for the first 15 minutes, are starting to make a game of it. Farrell working his way through. And there's a bit of push in there by Measham. And Preston are going to get the free kick. They just seem to have gone off the ball a bit, Preston. And Burnley are starting to make a few of their own chances, helped by a few mistakes by Preston. As Jepson battles for the ball, James cuts in field, and then Farrell wins it off him and lofts it forward again. That's a high back pass, but Farmouth was equal to it. 27 minutes gone of this Lancs Manx Cup game. Preston battling for a place in the final. Burnley battling more for pride than anything else. As Swan picks the ball up, plays a great ball through if it can find Shaw. Unfortunately, it was cut out by Hardy. And Burnley's defence, since Jason Hardy's moved into the back four, has tightened up considerably. Jepson and Swan and Shaw aren't being given as much room, and James down the flanks. As Jepson makes a great pass to Senior. Senior, a first time cross in, might fall for Shaw, it's there! Preston take the lead. Graham Shaw with a great header just outside the 6-yard area, and after 28 minutes Preston take the lead. A first time cross from Senior, but you've got to say that Ronnie Jepson with the pass to free Senior on the right hand side did all the damage, and Shaw's header really just finished it off. And I've got a feeling I put the kiss of death then on Jason Hardy. I was just saying how he tightened the defence up for Burnley at the back, and then he went and lost Shaw, and Shaw then put Preston in front. Pearce hits it forward. Burnley have got to get right back in this game. They're not that keen on these artificial surfaces. That may be one of the reasons why so many passes are going astray from them. But with people like Steve Harper, who played here for Preston all last season, they should be doing a lot better than they are. Farrell lays the ball off for Harper, who tries to find Conroy. Again, it's intercepted, this time by Wrightson. Back it goes forward by Monington, whose header just drifted into touch. You've got to say though, Preston did look like scoring, and after that first 15 minutes, although they have eased off in the last 10, they've looked very capable of opening up Burnley's defence whenever they've really wanted to. Pender plays it forward again, looking for Francis. He's one of the real hopes for Burnley. If you can get him on the end of one of his runs, Burnley might still be with a chance in this game. Francis, he'll chase that one as well, but Flynn's there. And now Wrightson going forward, lays it off for Shaw. Shaw should have played it again for Joyce. Instead he switched play for Senior. Senior lays it off for Bogie. Bogie gives it back to Senior, and I think that's going to go for a corner. No, says the referee. Goal kick. Pearce taking his time with it. He won't be that pleased as well with the marking from that cross, which conceded a goal. It really did leave him with no chance at all with the header. As James plays the ball forward, not a good pass, and Monington just boots it back forward again for Conroy. Conroy causing trouble there at the back for Preston, but Bogey's got it again, and he's found Joyce. Joyce battling for it with Harper. Harper getting some stick again from the Preston crowd. This time he deals with both. Seems a silly idea really to keep hitting the ball high to Francis when he's not winning anything in the air. As the cross comes in, it wasn't a good one, and Pearce just watches it drift out. Francis isn't the biggest of forwards, and as we know, he's very lively when the ball comes to his feet, but yet the ball continually is booted to his head. Maybe Burnley knows something I don't. Jacob kicks the ball forward again, can't find Harper. Senior now tries to get in the run. Again, it's scrappy in that midfield area. Only Ian Bogie has really put his foot on the ball and dictated play. As Senior hits it forward again, and Bogie's the man challenging Deary. Deary under pressure finds Hardy. Hardy clears upfield for Conroy. Conroy's header wasn't a good one, but Burnley get away with it. Conroy, good ball to Harper. Harper's got Measham in support, cuts inside, shoots, oh, and it's just gone wide. Good effort there from Steve Harper. He had 2 or 3 good seasons here at Preston. The only criticism was that he drifted in and out of the game too much, and when the youngster Martin James came along, who we've already seen here today, electric on the wings, Preston really had no choice but to replace Steve Harper and give him a free transfer. And it's Harper again who swings the cross in. Francis just can't touch it inside the area. Burnley still with possession. Hardy. Great ball there to Harper again. Harper, who's got Conroy making a run, and Measham plays it inside for Francis. Francis gives it to Measham. This is better from Burnley. As Harper swings in the ball again, it's a free header from Conroy if he looked up. And instead him and Francis made a bit of a mess of it. Bogie again coming away with the ball for Preston, and he's done well, and then he's found Senior with acres of space in front. Hardy's come across to challenge him, but Preston again with a lot of room on the edge of the area. And I've got to say that if a better ball had been played then by Warren Joyce, they could have easily found a second goal on the plate. Bogie, good pass again. Preston using the wings to good effect. Jepson just can't pick it up. Good challenge from Pender. And now Jacob brings the ball away to Harper. Harper sees Conroy making the run and finds him. Conroy inside the area, but Farnworth came out and cleared. This game going from end to end at the minute. And Preston lucky at the moment to still be in front. Burnley trying desperately to get back on level terms. Senior nonchalantly knocks the ball back. Ten minutes to the break. Preston leading through that 28th minute goal by Graham Shaw. I think Burnley may be just glad to just be the one down, because they have got the wind in the second half, and after the ferocious start that Preston put up in the first 15 minutes, they could so easily have been 2 or 3, and then the game would have been beyond them. At one down, you still feel that they could still maybe snatch something. We saw how Senior put Conroy through after a terrible back pass. And at that stage, Conroy could have put Burnley in front. Jepson lays the ball through for Thompson. Pender, dependable again at the back. Hardy has confidence to go forward this time and finds Conroy, but it wasn't a good pass. And Preston pick up the loose ball. I think they'll be happy to just go in at half-time with that 1-0 lead. They would like a second, but they are in front, and a draw will do for Preston here today. James with Measham. Measham wins the header. A suspicion of him climbing then. Francis gives it back to Farrell, but again Burnley not judging the speed of the pass or the direction on this artificial surface. Bogie tried to be too clever. Shaw, back to Senior. Senior up to Jepson, but Jepson was fouled by Pender. And Preston have got a free kick here, and if you use the wind, and a good run as well by Swan. As James curls in a great shot. Good play from Martin James. I suspected that he might have a crack then, but I thought it would have been a better idea to have shot from the free kick with people like Bogie and Joyce around. And with the wind in their favour, 30 yards can be quite near, can become quite near. James plays the ball forward to Jepson. Jepson lays it back to Swan. Preston again, keeping hold of the ball. And then waiting for the right run to be made. And Burnley just helping them by giving the ball back to them whenever they get possession. Thompson lays the ball inside to Joyce, and Joyce finds Senior. Preston spreading play again. Senior gives it to Thompson. Thompson though didn't see Mornington, and Burnley get the chance to come away with the ball. Let's see if they can just keep hold of it for a few passes. No, they can't. Burnley really giving themselves no chance at all, because every time they pick up possession they give it away again. The number of bad passes in this first half has been unbelievable. Pearce with a good clearance as well against the wind, and Francis has won the free kick. The rain's still falling heavily here, which is also making conditions treacherous and not ideal, as Drury hits the ball inside the box. Again, it's easily cleared, and Bogie finds Swan. Swan up to Jepson. Jepson turns out of the challenge and lays the ball down the line. Thompson cuts off the back pass, and then Hardy gives the ball away again. Bogie, not a good pass that time. Pender hits it forward again, tries to find Francis. Again, it was too high up in the air for Francis, who really is far better suited when the ball's played along the floor to his feet or in front of him for to chase. Again, though, we see him having to jump up in the air. Jepson, he's the sort of player you should be aiming for up front. And Burnley do have a player like him in Conroy, who they just don't seem to be using at the moment. Bogie, he's got a great run by Senior if he can find him, and he does. Senior might fancy a shot here, goes for the cross instead. Swan inside the area, it's up again. Pearce with a fist out, only as far as Bogie. Bogie, not a good pass to James. Francis then looked to be fouled. Play on, says the referee. James skips through two challenges. Great play from Martin James. Shaw with the ball, curls it in. Oh, and it was just overrunning Jepson's head. It seemed a certain second goal there. If Shaw could have just pulled that ball back onto the header foot of three waiting Preston players, Preston would surely have gone in at the break 2 goals to the good. As it is, they still lead by that 28th minute goal by Graham Shaw. As Harper lays the ball back again, Preston easily pick possession up, and Pender has to head it back. The crowd appealing for a corner. The linesman was on hand and so was the referee. Not given, says either of them. Flynn finds Joyce, and there's an offside against Conroy, who was running back. And Farnworth's going to come out of his area to take this free kick. This should be Preston's last attack of the half. And Burnley have given one on, he played, Shaw must score, and he does. Oh, unbelievable. Burnley give Preston a 2-goal lead on a plate. A terrible back pass by Ian Measham. Or was it John Pender? I've got a feeling it's John Pender. And that's 2 bad back passes we've had. As the cry goes up the Western Blackburn Rovers. It seems a bit harsh. As Preston now really buzzing, looking for a third, but Burnley trying to counter-attack, play the ball into touch. You've got to say Preston deserved that second one, but it was given to them on a plate. John Pender's back pass was appalling. It gave Graham Shaw the easiest of opportunities. He couldn't have played it better if he meant to. I think if he'd have gone to play that ball to Shaw, he'd have probably hit it for a corner. As the rain starts to get worse and the wind. And Burnley now have got a real uphill struggle. They've only picked up 1 point from these Manx Cup games so far, and it looks very unlikely that they're going to pick up another one here today. Deary finds Harper. Harper looks to the wingman Jacob. Jacob now cuts inside again. Burnley congesting play in midfield instead of going for the wings like Preston have done. That's where Preston have succeeded, is they've whipped the ball to the wingmen Thompson and James, and Burnley just haven't been able to cope with it. Measham with the throw-in. Maybe a chance here for Burnley to get something back right on the stroke of half-time. Francis with the ball again. Can't really do anything other than get a half cross in. Harper with a shot, but it was well wide. And Burnley, you've got to say, in this first half have been outclassed by Preston, who have played the pass and run game to perfection. Bogie and Jepson have held play up when they can, and James, Thompson, Senior and Shaw have all run off them. Joyce has been commanding him in field. Bogie has been outstanding. He's really worked himself into the ground, and he's left John Deary looking a fool most of this half. He's hardly had a touch. As Measham takes the throw into Harper, trying to grab some consolation here before the break, or give Burnley some hope for the second half. At the moment it looks very bleak, as does the weather. Conroy. Again, Burnley have played themselves into a corner. They've won the throw-in this time though. But really, there just doesn't seem any sense in playing the ball to the corner flag with 2 Preston players behind you and no chance of getting the crossing. As the referee blows the half-time whistle, a half that saw Preston dominate the first 15 minutes. Unfortunate not to get a goal then. They got one after 28 minutes though, after a great cross from Senior, good build-up from Jepson, and a superb header from Shaw. And then just before half-time, Shaw couldn't believe it when Pender gave him the second goal on their plate with a terrible back pass, and Chris Pearce with no chance Just having a quick look through the sides to see if there's been any changes by either manager at half-time. There doesn't look to be. Both sides sticking with the teams that finished the first half. But I've got a feeling that Burnley will introduce some of their substitutes if their play doesn't get much better in this opening 10 minutes. Remember, Burnley 2-0 down here. 2 goals from Graham Shaw. The second one from a dreadful back pass. The rain just seems to be getting harder and harder. As Preston get us underway, they'll be attacking the home end, their cup, and Burnley will be attacking their away fans this second half. Burnley also will have the wind, which they'll want to use to their advantage, as Pierce really does put in a dreadful kick. Bogey finds Measham. Harper back for Jacob. Jacka's ball wasn't a good one, and in comes Shaw for his hat-trick. He must score. Oh no, what a miss. Graham Shaw ghosted in then from that ball play through the middle. There was nobody even near him to tackle him, and it seemed certain he would score a hat-trick or get his hat-trick. But when things seem most certain, they normally end up falling down. As it happened then, Francis battling with the ball as Conroy does as well. But it's all tidied up by Steve Senior. Steve Senior joined Preston from Wigan last season on a free transfer, and has captained the Preston side, as he did at Wigan as well. Deary plays the ball forward to nobody. Swan, not a good pass. And Burnley will get the throw in. Burnley really do need an early goal if they're going to get any joy from this game. If they don't, it's going to be a long, hard second half. And it's also going to become very frustrating for both fans and players alike, because Preston at the moment hold all the aces. Preston are really 90% sure, unless Burnley do have a very big revival and score 3 goals. Preston are going to be in the final next Tuesday. It's not yet decided who they'll be against, because Bolton and Wigan are both drawing 0-0. If that score did stay that's the same, then it would be at Wigan, because they did get a bonus point and haven't lost yet in the Manx Cup, or in their group in the Manx Cup, whereas Bolton got beat off Rochdale in the opening game last Monday. Senior again with the header out. Burnley though going forward with a bit more conviction. Conroy shouting for the ball, not a good pass to him, but Francis might get there with the header, and he does so. Corner, no, says the referee. The shot from Conroy did not take a deflection, though it looked from this angle it might have. Jepson all over Mornington that time. Burnley right again, the free kick, which Hardy takes again. The pass forward was a poor one. Pender heads the ball out, back it'll go though by Thompson. And there's a Little bit of a nudge there on Warren Joyce. As the play just goes behind the pylon, obscuring our view for the moment, and now it comes back into view. Good back heel there by Jepson. He nearly got Graham Shaw in. Again, it was Jason Hardy there at the back with the alert defending. Francis lays the ball back to Measham. Measham cuts inside and then finds Conroy. Conroy, the first time ball. Again, it only found a Preston player. Burnley though battling back, win possession again. Harper getting in the way of the referee, and the referee getting in the way of Harper there. And finally, Preston come away with it. Good pass there from Jepson, and the ball comes in from Swan. Preston still with the ball. James playing in a more central role at the beginning of the second half, and he's asking for the ball to be given him back. Finally it does, and he's got a lot of room in front to get the cross in. James instead brings it back and just couldn't get on the end of it. And then he's given another chance. Graham Shaw lays it across. Pearce in trouble. Finally dives on it. Burnley's defence. Well, you just saw how very vulnerable it is. They'd cleared the danger from James's ball back and then immediately put themselves in trouble again. And if they don't really solve that for the next season, they're going to find that they're going to concede a lot of goals. Joyce, a lot of room again in that midfield area to run forward and find Jepson, but Jepson's pass this time let him down. Harper coming away with it. Up to Conroy. Conroy plays it inside to Jacob. Jacob finds Deary. Deary lays it back. Burnley go for the long ball instead. They were building up play well then. And really they do need to take a leaf out of Preston's book. It's very rare that Preston play a long ball forward, and when they do they look for Ronnie Jepson, whereas Burnley really seem to hit it and hope meant most of the time. Thompson, a chance there to run at the defence if he can keep it in play. Fortunately can't do so. And Burnley will get the throw in. Jacob inside to Deary, back forward by Jacob up to Francis. Harper picks up the loose ball and finds Conroy. Conroy, good ball inside there, but Deary's been robbed. And Senior just settles things down and knocks the ball back. Just to remind you, there's been no score in the Blackburn-Bury game or the Wigan-Bolton game. Rochdale have taken the lead against Blackpool. As Bogie goes forward, I thought he was lining up a shot, then instead he's played it out to James. James, he's got Swan behind him, instead goes for the cross. He gets a second chance with it, and now we'll lay it back to Bogie. Bogie, he'll fancy a shot here. No, he won't. Jepson will. Oh, and it's just wide. I felt that there was twice then that Ian Bogie could have lined up a chance of a shot. And a goal here in this second half would really round up a superb display by him. Conroy lays it back for Harper, and Harper's control let him down. Flynn throws it forward again. There was no Preston player there, and there's a bit of a handball by Jeff Wrightson. The linesman was quick to spot that. Burnley with the free kick. Davies over it, so's Jacob. Jacob will leave it. for Deary to play it into the box. Good header out by Swan, and all of a sudden Bogey's got a lot of room in front. Great run by Joyce if he can give it him. Bogey, he's going it alone, and he, instead of passing it, decided to take it all on his own. And I think if it had looped up there, he'd have either give it to Shaw or Joyce, who both ended up with a lot of space either side of him. Can't blame him for going for a little bit of glory of his own. As the ball finally gets back for Farnworth, Farnworth throws it out. Jepson just controls play, and then the ball forward wasn't a good one by Wrightson. Francis heads it on, but Preston with Wrightson bring it away. A good ball if Shaw could have kept it in. Unfortunately, Shaw couldn't. Ten minutes gone. Still Preston leading from those two first half goals by Graham Shaw, but he could so easily have doubled that tally in this second half as Francis tries to get the better of Wrightson. And he's won the throw-in on the far side. The cheers in the background for the fact that Burnley are going to make a substitution. Harper with the ball, appeals for a handball, not given. Flynn heads it out. Up for Jepson, who laid a great ball off for James. James, a first time pack to Jepson. Preston just seem to be picking off the wrong options at the moment when they go forward. James would have done better then to have carried on running. Whereas Bogey, when he broke, would have done better to pass it. Still, they can afford to waste these opportunities because they do have a 2-0 lead, and they've only got to draw this game. As Jepson skips past his man again, he's got 2 or 3 people making runs for him. Finally he gives it to Senior with Harper, and unfortunately for Senior, Harper got there first, but he's won the throw-in. And Joe Francis is going to be taken off, and Graham Lancashire, the man who made his debut and scored on Tuesday against Blackburn, is going to come on. Bogey with the ball on the edge of the area. Jepson again, exchange one-touch football, and that's a great goal from Ian Bogey. Graham Lancashire has only been on the field 20 seconds, if that, and he's already seen his side go 3-0 down before he's had a touch of the ball. Ian Bogey, I said that he had once or twice fancied a shot and let it go. Well, that time he decided to have a crack, and you saw the end result, a superb goal. Again, it was through him and Jepson working on the edge of the area, and they're going to be a lethal combination in the 3rd division next season. With James on the wing and Thompson on the right wing. Preston are going to be a totally different proposition from the side that just avoided relegation last year. The Burnley fans, though, are starting to get a bit restless on my left. And aren't pleased at their team's performance as Jepson wins the ball again. This could be a 4th, he swung it in. Thompson, it's just over his head. And Burnley come away with it, it's gone into touch. No, says the linesman. Play on, Harper with the ball. Plays it inside for Deary. Deary lays it off for Jacob, and then Conroy, and then Jacob loses out, And Jepson goes forward again. Jepson and Bogie have certainly been the difference between the two sides. Thompson plays the ball for Senior to chase. Senior keeps the ball in play. Unfortunately, it went straight to Chris Pearce. As the ball goes back and we have a quiet spell for a few minutes, I'll let you know that Wigan have just taken the lead at Bolton, and it's looking ever the more increasingly likely that it's going to be a Wigan-Preston final this Tuesday coming at Springfield Park, and what a night that will be. There is a good 2,000 Preston fans here tonight, and I'm sure that they'll bring at least that many to Springfield Park for the final. And if the weather can just get a bit better, we might have a great game in our hands, as Bogie goes forward again and lays the ball off for Jepson. Him and Jepson have done remarkably well in this game. They've worked and worked and worked, and we're going to have to watch them on Tuesday if the scoreline stay the same. Shaw lays the ball off for James. James again taking on his man and gets across him. He's took a deflection, and but Preston will get a corner. Preston have had some good pre-season wins. A 7-3 one against Bamber Bridge and a 4-2 one against Chorley. So they've certainly got the goal scoring knack at the moment. As the cross comes in, there's a free header there, and Pearce has lost it, and it's in. Oh, I don't believe that. Mike Flynn has scored Preston's fourth, and Chris Pearce, who you couldn't really blame for the three previous goals, has got to hold his hand up and say that was his fault. It went straight under his body. I thought that he took that ball after Flynn had got a free header in, but it skidded underneath him, and you could see from the reaction of the Preston fans behind the goal that it had reached the back of the net. And the poor 300 or 400 Burnley fans who made the trip here to Deepdale have been very disappointed at the team's performance as Harper tries to find some consolation for them. Not a good cross again. There was a suggestion of handball then by Bogie. Fortunately for Preston, it was unintentional. But Preston here, after ripping Bury apart on Tuesday 6-1, have done it again on the artificial surface, this time against Burnley. And the two goals in the first half were good. Well, the two goals here in the second half have been even better. Pearce, who really will be very disappointed in giving away that fourth goal. Deary tries to win the ball in the middle of the field, but Thompson now is trying to get involved. And Flynn just knocks the ball back. The Preston fans just below us instigating the Burnley fans in shouting Casper out. It seems a little premature in my view. We're only at pre-season friendly time at the moment. We've not started the league season, and many a team have had a few bad defeats in the Manx Cups or in friendlies before the season start, and then have gone on when we started the proper season and have got promotion or have done well in the cup competitions or proved a decent side, and really it's just been lack of practice and lack of match fitness that was the key in the opening games of the season and the friendlies. And Bogie tries to get on the end of that ball. Also, you've got to say it's the pitch as well with Burnley. They've never been keen on the artificial surface, and you've only got to look at last season's result here in the Leyland Daft Cup where they got beat 6-1. They really just don't perform to the best of their abilities here at Preston or at any other artificial ground. They've also got a few injury worries, one of them being Ron Futcher and David Hamilton. As they go forward now, Hardy gets the cross, and again it was too near the keeper, and Farmworth easily took it. I think we're just taking the gloss off the Preston performance by saying those few excuses for Burnley. Preston, you've got to say, have put up a tremendous 60 minutes or so, and if they continue where they've left off in this last 20 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised if they've got a 5th or 6th goal, and it wouldn't be undeserving as well. Ian Bogie in midfield has run everything, and Ronnie Jepson up front has been inspirational. As Burnley nearly get a back pass in their favour, Lancashire just couldn't get on the end of it. 25 minutes left. It's Bogie again, trying to instigate something on the edge of the area. Jepson the man to hold it up, and then gives it in back. James now with the ball, gives it to Bogie. Bogie lays it off for Joyce. Joyce off for James. James looking to get the cross in, and he does so. Pender heads it out, and then Harper continues it. But again, it's only as far as Bogie, who's back in defence now, helping them out. As Graham Shaw's caught by the offside trap. Conroy screaming for the ball at the moment, and it's given to him. Conroy turns, goes past Flynn, and then lays it off to Deary. Deary needs some support, finds it in Jacob, and Jacob just let the ball go into touch. Preston have really deserved the 4-0 lead they've got here. They've put up a very, very accomplished performance here this afternoon, and it's not the best of conditions. We've got a bit of rain and a very strong wind, and we could well do without a booking here. Mike Flynn just having a word with the referee. Hardy swings it in. There's a chance here for Lancashire to get on the end of it, and he just can't reach it. We just received the attendance of the tannoy, 2,483, which is quite a good attendance for these Manx Cup games. The one here against Bury on Tuesday only 1,400, so that's a good 1,000 up on that game, and I suspect a game around the 5,000 mark for the match at Springfield Park if the score stays the same at Burnham Park against Bolton. Remember, Wigan leading there 1-0. Wrightson with the ball. Preston really just going through the motions at the moment. Joyce finds Thompson. He's got acres of room and time to get the cross, and in Jepson, great save from Pearce. He had so much time then, David Thompson, to just pick out Ronnie Jepson, that when the header finally did come in, Pearce had read it and superbly tipped it over. Really, but for Chris Pearce, there might have been 2 or 3 more goals in this game for Preston. As the cross comes in again, and Pearce just manages to touch it away from the Preston forwards, and then David Thompson knocks the ball in. Or was it David Thompson? No, it wasn't. It was Graham Shaw. Well, Preston have knocked in the 5th, and Graham Shaw has knocked in his hat-trick. And that's delighted the Preston fans here today. They won't bother about the rain and the cold now. As the Preston fans again try and instigate a shout of Casper out. Again, I gotta say, it's got to be quite harsh that, as James goes on a run again. Preston are buzzing now. And finally, they've won a throw-in. Swan just unable to swing the ball in. As I said, Preston are really buzzing at the moment. They've scored 6 against Burnley. They had the better of a draw at Blackburn. And now they put 5 in against Burnley. And it's really setting up for a cracking game against Wigan on Tuesday night. Or even if Bolton do manage to win the game against Bolton at Vernon Park. Preston had so many goal-scoring problems last season. They really went long spells without even getting 1 goal, let alone 4 or 5, or even 6. Burnley have got to now start to pick their heads up and just try and get some consolation and try not to seize any more goals. There's that pat pass there from Flynn, goes out for a corner for Burnley. Which Deary's going to take. Deary. He's got a run here being made by Jacob. Instead he lays it off for Hardy. Hardy, the first time cross, it looks to be too deep. No, it's not, it's been kept in. And then it's cleared by Swan. And now there's a chance here for Preston to get a 6th. Thompson with the run. Hardy with the header out though. And now Jacob bringing it forward for Burnley. Preston really have gone through this game at a very high level, and whenever it's just seemed to be going a bit slower or the pace slackening, Ian Bolgie and Ronnie Jepson and Joyce have just stepped it up a gear and have left Burnley for dead. It's Harper, a lot of room here to get the cross, and it's a good one. A great header out by Flynn again though. Still the pressure on. Harper again with the crossing. And Measham just couldn't get on the end of it. As James brings the ball away for Preston. James finds Jepson and then finds Joyce, who works the ball out to Thompson. Thompson, he's got a run being made by Senior. He decides instead to go for the cross, and it's a poor one. As Burnley look to make the second substitution, number 14 Peter Mumby's coming on, and number 11 Steve Harper's coming off. Harper, who's tried his best but has received very little ball on that wing and been given very little chance to show himself. Bogie looking inside, finds him, and now he's going forward, and he's still going forward, and he's won a free kick. Great play from Ian Bogie. This was something that Preston were crying out for last season, was somebody to start taking command in midfield. And Ian Bogie has shown today that they've got the man. A quick one taken by Schwam. It's been headed out, back it comes in again, flicked on, and Jepson's there again, and he takes a tumble. No penalty, says the referee. Thompson, he's got Senior outside of him. He goes inside instead, and then Shaw tries a shot, but it's just over the bar. "15 minutes now left in this game. Preston 5, Burnley 0. 3 goals in this second half. We started off with that goal, a great one from Ian Bogie. And then there was the header from Mike Flynn that went under Chris Pearce's body. And then just 5 minutes ago, Graham Shaw completed his hat-trick with a volley from the corner that left everybody in the Burnley team numbed. Conroy lays it back for Deary. Deary finds Jacob. Jacob now works the ball out to the far side to Farrell. This is better from Burnley. Jacob makes the run. There's been a lot of movement there, but still the ball hasn't been played forward. Farrell again with the ball. Deary and Farrell being content to just play it between themselves until the ball finally goes astray. Senior tidies things up for Preston. Jepson now, a chance for counter-attack from Preston, and maybe a bit adventurous that back heel, but at 5-0 up you can afford it, and that's something that they've not been scared to do here today. Preston is try different things as they win the free kick. A bit of pulling there from Deary on Joyce. Flynn quickly takes it to Shaw. Shaw gets the ball back off Jepson and then hits the shot, but Pearce, diving on the floor, comfortably takes the ball. It surprised me that Burnley haven't really started to clamp down on them little flicks by Jepson on the edge of the area. It's been his ball work on the outside the Burnley penalty area that has instigated so much of Preston's attacks. As Bogie's run through the midfield, Jepson's really run through the defence of Burnley. A Preston spread play with Senior. Senior hits it inside. Again, Shaw was battling for it. Again, though, he lost. And now Lancashire goes for the ball and just can't reach it. And Preston, he just seemed to be playing through the motions in this last 10 minutes. They know the game's won and their place in the final is safe now. And really, it's just how many goals they can score. Thompson challenging with Jacob, and he's given away the throw-in. Lancashire looking to go forward, plays the ball through for the other substitution, Mumby. Mumby yet to have his first touch of the ball since coming on, and he's been on the field a good 5 minutes. It really does show you the amount of Preston domination. Finally he does get the ball, Mumby. And that's a good pass as well to Conroy. Conroy looking for some support. Finally finds it, but he has to go back. Hardy plays it down the line to Lancashire. Lancashire plays it through again for Hardy, who challenges for the ball and nearly gets on the end of it. can't really remember, apart from the Conroy miss early on before Preston had even taken the lead, a decent chance for Burnley. And when Joe Francis went off, Burnley also gave in to any chance of them getting back in this game through speed. They played too many high balls and not a lot balls along the floor. And I don't think you could criticise Joe Francis for his performance today, because it really was more to the way Burnley have played than the way he has. The Shaw goes inside the box looking for the sixth. Oh, good save from Pearce. The Burnley fans blame Francis, but it was the tactics of the team in playing the high ball to him that made him look baggers. Bogie tries a great shot. Good effort from Ian Bogie, and a superb save again from Chris Pearce. Apart from the fling goal, you can't really criticise Pearce for his performance today. He has really been the dam trying to stop the flood of water. And bar from him, we would have had even more goals. As Preston take the corner, and again Pearce gets up well for it and makes a good take. Bogie heads it back forward again. This time Pender, though, deals with that one. Him and Monington have got to really sort out a bit of communication there at the back, because they've really been shown up by Shaw and Jepson today. As Lancashire goes through, no offside flag. He needs some support, doesn't find any. And really, that was all he could do with it, which was unfortunate. As Senior has a word with the linesman about raising the flag. Bogie again on one of his runs. He's got James outside, instead he goes for Jepson. Jepson's control, and unfortunately he couldn't pick it off. He chested it down and then couldn't hit it. Wrightson now going forward for Preston. And Joyce robbed Farrell then with the ball on his toe. Joyce plays it for Jepson again. Again Jepson holding up the ball on the edge of the area. Burnley, though, seem to have sorted him out that time. And they're coming away with the ball as well. Measham inside to Conroy. Conroy finds Deary. Deary now to Pender. Pender to Hardy. Hardy just holds it up and then gives it forward to Jacob. Jacob back to Hardy. Burnley doing what really they should have done all the way through this game. But as we see it there, a prime example of why Preston are 5-0 up. Every time Burnley get anywhere near going into the Preston box, the ball is either rushed or it's played too hard or too high, and possession is given away. Free kick. Jacob just tripped. As we are well inside the last 10 minutes. And Preston still looking for more goals and really being given them on a plate by Burnley. James, oh, good save again by Pearce. Again, it shows up just how bad Burnley's defence has been today and how easy it has been for Preston to open them up. And as I said before, Chris Pearce has been the difference between 4 or 5 goals going in and 8 or 9, and that would have been really embarrassing for Burnley. James swings it in again, and Pearce is there to collect it. Mumby heads it on to Lancashire. Lancashire battling for the ball again. Again, Wrightson looking for the free kick for the offside. Again, the linesman not putting his flag up. Senior with the ball again. Down the line for Thompson, who we've seen very little of in this match. Finds Shaw. Shaw tries to do a Ronnie Jepson trick with the back heel. It didn't work. Senior to Shaw again. Shaw inside for Thompson. Thompson is looking for Jepson. No, a bad cross. He needed to dig that one farther back for Jepson, who was prowling on the back of that far post then. Senior. Preston still putting the pressure on. Shaw with the ball. Plays it inside the area. Joyce. Oh, and it's agonisingly across the Burnley 6-yard area. Warren Joyce skipped inside them from the ball by Shaw. Laid the ball across the 6-yard area, and it seems certain that Burnley would get the 6th. Preston would get the 6th. Burnley will be lucky to score 1, let alone 6 here today. Free kick. A foul there on Martin James, who has been another of the players to have impressed me for Preston. Ian Bogie and Ronnie Jepson being the other two. And the man with the ball now, Steve Senior. Senior with a cross. Again he looks for Jepson. Again Burnley half clear. And maybe have a chance here to counter-attack as well. Lancashire. Oh, good play from Graham Lancashire. And he's got Mumby at the side of him as well. Mumby has to hold it up though. There's an offside of the referee. No, he's not giving it. Surely a goal here for Burnley, and it is. John Deary has pulled one back in the last 5 minutes. A bit of consolation for the Burnley fans who've made the trip here today. I've got to laugh because the crowd at the far side, the Preston fans, are shouting, saying, what's it like to score a goal? Well, I've just got to say, I did actually say that it would take a lot for Burnley to score, and that they've not looked like scoring all day. And then they went and scored, and like in the first half, after I said Jason Hardy had been solid as a rock at the back, and then Preston scored because of his really losing Graham Shaw at the back. I think it's time I kept my mouth shut. Lancashire goes for the header again. Conroy heads it on. And then Flynn just tidies things up. Oof. Pender took a bit of a risk then, leaving that one, but he judged it to perfection because the ball found Chris Pearce. Conroy finds Jacob. Jacob lays it back to Hardy, and now Pender is under trouble, in a bit of trouble, but him and Farrell just cope with it, and Pearce will launch the kick again. I said at the beginning of this game, a few goals would liven up proceedings as the weather's not been that good. It's rained constantly through the match, and the wind though has died down a bit in the last 10 minutes, has been pretty strong, especially for the first half hour. As the Burnley fans start to drift away, I think they were just waiting for that goal before they went, to give them something to cheer about. As the ball's played through again, Conroy trying to get on the end of it. Lancashire, who's been one of the better players for Burnley when he's come on. He's battled for the ball, him and Mumby. and it really was because of his persistence and Mumby's cross that Burnley were able to get that goal back. Consolation goal. We're into injury time as Jepson lays the ball forward. Him and Dreary having a bit of standoffish there. Wigan still winning 1-0 at Bolton, and with a few minutes left of both games, it's looking more and more increasingly likely that the final's going to be at Springfield Park between Wigan and Preston. Preston guaranteed the place as the final whistle goes. A great display by Preston North End here at Deepdale. 5 goals and a 5-star display. It's all started when Graham Shaw stole in from a senior cross to head home the first after 28 minutes. The second came on half-time after a dreadful back pass by Pemda, and Shaw beat Pearce with ease. The third came from a great Ian Boulger shot 10 minutes into the second half. The fourth from a Mike Flynn header that Pearce really should have kept out. And then the final goal, Graham Shaw's hat-trick, after the corner had been headed out. It came as far as Graham Shaw, he blasted it home. A bit of consolation for Burnley with a last goal, a goal in the last 5 minutes by John Deary, but that's all it was, consolation. And Preston now will go on to the final after winning this game 5-1. Preston 5, Burnley 1.